Mr. Burnie Burns, who is the one of the co-founders of Rooster Teeth, the voice of church on Red vs. Blue, the creator of Red vs. Blue. I guess I could say now the former director of Red vs. Blue, at least for this season anyway.
Yeah. So this season, before I had given up the directorial reins before, Matt directed half of actually season 2. Matt was not the CEO of the company. And then Gavin, he was the full director for all of season 7 of Red vs. Blue. But this is the first time that we've turned the writing over to anybody else.
Okay.
In the past, I was the head writer, but Miles Luna is both the writer and director of season 11 of RVB.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
My pleasure.
I've been a fan for a very long time. I think I watched season 1 right at the end of season 4. I saw season 1. Then after that entire summer, I spent on YouTube watching every episode and caught up what was going on.
It's one of my favorite things now. The show's been running 11 years. It's like, when did people find out that happened? It was season 4, huh?
Yeah, it was in the middle of season 4. My friends like, "Hey, we're gonna watch RVB." I was like, "What's RVB?" He was like, "You don't know what RVB is, and you're a video game guy?"
What's wrong?
I was like, "Sorry." So they showed me the first season. I was like, "I'm gonna borrow that."
That's awesome.
Actually, Red vs. Blue actually got me into Halo. I don't know how many people have told me that
cool.
before.
I've heard that. I mainly hear that from female gamers more than anybody else. Is that like they just felt it was an FPS, so it wasn't their type of game, and they started watching Red vs. Blue.
Yeah.
And that became like a kind of like a gateway drug for Halo.
Yeah.
They started playing Halo.
Yeah, my thing is I wasn't an Xbox guy. I was always a Nintendo kid, and I got a PS2, and I was like, Xbox, Microsoft, Bill Gates, blah, blah, blah.
Right, I hear you. And so Halo in itself becomes like this, like as the primary Xbox title. You're like, I can't ever play Halo.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to draw your line somewhere.
Exactly, and I saw what you guys were doing with the game engine. I was like, that is pretty cool. So I finally played Halo, and I was like, I'm sucked in.
Oh yeah, you got hooked. That's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's it does that to you.
Yeah, it really does. So congratulations on season 11, Red vs. Blue, and congratulations on 10 years of Rooster Teeth. That's amazing. And also congratulations on year 3 of RTX. I was lucky enough to go to the first one. So I took part in the emergency shoot and everything, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were out in the field with 500 other people.
Yes.
Was it Memorial Day weekend?
Memorial Day weekend covered cornstarch and red food coloring, oatmeal.
You guys did a great job, though. You guys were awesome zombies.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, going back, you kind of talked about this in the panel this morning. When you guys were making the first episode, did you ever think it would get to where it is now?
I mean, when we started it, anytime you start anything, you have hopes for how well it'll do. And in the first month, first couple of weeks, it surpassed even my wildest expectations. I'm like, wow, if this happened, this would be great, or that happened. And it's like, those milestones just kind of I think it was a big part of it was at the time there wasn't a lot of content online that was video content. It was kind of a new thing. There was a lot of flash animation. We were doing something a little left center from that, and people just kind of grabbed onto it. The video game audience in general just kind of grabbed onto it, and it took off like a rocket.
And it really did. Another thing I want to ask you. About 2 years ago, did you ever think that you would have a bobblehead?
No.
Made it yourself.
I didn't think a year ago I'd have a bobblehead. That right there is thanks to Yvonne Secretan, who is our VP of Operations. And she said, I want to make a bobblehead based on the Burnie.com story. And I was like, can you buy that? But I was like, at the same back of my head, I'm like, pretty cool to have a bobblehead myself. So,
It feeds the ego.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like, now I need to get like a life-size version. It'd be great to have like a life-size statue / bobblehead.
And you can actually put it out in front of the office.
Put it on front lawn,
exactly.
Represent the neighbors.
Yeah. Besides Red vs. Blue, you guys have done a number of different series. Immersion, of course, which is going into its second season. You guys have already released one episode. When is that going to pick back up again?
This is July 7th or something. On Friday, we shoot another episode.
Oh, awesome.
And that should be out, I think, mid-August. It'll take a little while to get the can and then go through post-production because we get a lot of footage for that kind of stuff. And that should probably be out in, I think, mid-August. And so it's going to be a good one, too. It's one of my favorite concepts from season 2.
It was an absolute blast to watch the first season of it and then taking part in the shoot. So last year at RTX, you guys filmed with the attendees last year. You guys filmed a teaser, I guess, a teaser trailer for Day 5.
That's right. That's actually not a teaser trailer. It's in the teaser trailer that's shot. It's actually a pretty critical shot for later in the series.
Okay.
I wrote the first draft of Day 5. And we did the shot at RTX last year. We got into some casting stuff. We had to do some rewrites on it. And just as the nature of like wanting to move on and do other stuff while that thing sat in the production pipeline, I rolled off that project and I'm actually working on some other stuff we haven't talked about yet. But I'm looking forward to it. Okay. I should say I'm a part of it, but there are other people like Joel and Matt are really spearheading that project.
Right. Okay. Very cool. I forgot to mention, going back to immersion, I remember you guys talking on the podcast about it possibly being put on television.
Immersion, yeah.
Is that still in the works, or is that?
It still is a little bit, but that's a moving target. It's like BOEs originally don't have like a mission statement. We gotta go to TV, or we gotta move movie theaters, or anything like that. We just try to do things that make the most amount of sense for the project that we're working on. It's like it made sense for the web. It made sense with a big portion of the online audience that watches animation online, but doesn't necessarily watch it personally. So we're hoping to open up to a new audience. Immersion, there's some interest in taking it to TV. A couple different networks have had interest in it. Those are complicated, long deals, though. We don't have a lot of patience for that. We won't sit on something very long, because the biggest problem is that if you go into somebody else's development cycle, on the internet, people are making content constantly. Every minute on YouTube, 100 hours of footage every single minute. Wow, generating lots and lots of content. We started making the first version with the car, with third-person view. I made that just because I knew other people out there were thinking of the idea. I had a conversation with Freddie Wong just today. We were talking about immersion, and he goes, "Yep, I saw your car video, and I thought, man, I wanted to do that for a while, and you guys did it first." And I was like, "That's exactly why I made the video, because I knew other people would do it."
Yeah.
So it's like tough. It's tough to sit in a development cycle and get pie in the sky visions about TV or whatever, while other people are just making that content. You got to make the cool stuff and show it to people. That's at the end of the day. That's the thing.
Okay, so a lot of broadcast hires have been members of the community.
Yep.
How does somebody in the community right now sort of desire to be an employee of Rooster Teeth go about that process?
Well, I used to say that content is the king. Everyone has the ability to start making content. The camera that's on my phone is better by leaps and bounds than the camera that I used to shoot pictures. And that's what I carry in my pocket every day. I would have killed for a camera that good.
Yeah.
So everyone has the ability to do that. So my biggest piece of advice would be just get out there, start doing stuff, start working on your craft. Our most popular show, I'd say right now, is everything that comes out of Achievement Hall, and that's like this year has been just a juggernaut of popularity. And anybody can take record themselves playing it. But when those guys do it, 3 million people show up. There's something to that, and it's not you're not going to be able to quantify that. But they've also worked on it for a really long time. You start that way, so you're not going to just drop into that. So I just recommend to people who want to do that kind of thing, just start doing it. You know what I mean? And even if you don't show it to people, just start doing it. Start honing your craft. Realize that there is an ability and a talent there, but there's also a long process of diligent work and get good at what you do. And that's what I recommend people. And then, show it to people, post it on community sites, post it on other videos, take part in it, like an achievement community night, achievement community videos, and that's how we hire a lot of people, yeah. We identify lots of people from the community. We also identify people with very specialized skill sets now. Programmers, network administrators, accountants. As we're growing as a company, these things become more important. One of the most important people to RTX is a gentleman by the name of Allynn Abdi. He's never on camera ever. He's not an on-screen personality, but he's great at business development. He's really great about taking the vision of what RTX wants to be and executing. He's just a great guy. Great ad, and he's not somebody that ever seen.
Alright, so our question I have is, for example, we're a independent podcast. We're starting everything ourselves.
Do you have any tips for younger or unexperienced people who are trying to make themselves a entity on the internet?
The hardest part is rising above the noise floor. The thing we talked about before, where every minute 100 hours are uploaded. That's 4 days of footage a minute.
Yeah.
That's a huge noise floor, and you got to find a way to rise above that. My recommendation is start making content. You'll learn, your craft as you go along. Also, you'll have a catalog of episodes. Assuming it's episodic, maybe just a catalog of videos that are not related to each other, but they're just based in your own particular style of what you're doing. That's important because you never know the point at which your thing will be discovered. You'll have a killer video. A great example for us is our most popular video on Rooster Teeth. Do you know what it is? Out of curiosity?
I would say the Angry Birds.
The Angry Birds trailer. So the Angry Birds trailer, at least on YouTube, has the highest view count. That's really not what we're known for in any stretch of the imagination, but there's a lot of people that have probably watched the Angry Birds trailer and have discovered Rooster Teeth through that.
Yeah.
But it's you got to be ready with that catalog to show people because you never know what's going to draw people to see it. And to think that our highest viewed video on YouTube has nothing to do with Reverse Blue, nothing to do with Achievement Hunter. It doesn't have to do with RT Shorts really. I mean, it's like a standalone kind of a one-off parody thing. Yeah. It's just for whatever reason it really spoke to people. It's a great video. It was directed by one of our former employees, Marshall Rimmer. And he had a great idea for it and executed it. And it's great to think of people discover Rooster through that video.
So on the podcast, you guys like to play a little game called Gavin or Google.
Yeah.
You guys played a little bit today at the live podcast.
We did.
I just have to know, and I kind of asked the same sort of question when I talked to Jeff yesterday. Are the sentences that Gavin finished, are they actually him, like just first thing that pops into his head?
I don't actually know what his process is. I give him the three-word phrases. It's 3 or 4 word phrases, and I give him 3 of them. And I select them based on how funny the answers are off Google. And then he comes back with something. I can tell you, I have never turned down one that Gavin has come up with.
Okay.
Every one that he comes up with is pretty much gold.
Some of them were pretty ridiculous.
He's a ridiculous person. He has a very unique train of thought.
Yeah.
Calling it a train might be giving it too much credit.
For sure.
A golf cart thought.
Yeah. So last question I got. Where do you see Rooster Teeth going about 10 years from now?
It's impossible to tell.
Yeah.
Because when we started this in 2003, if we asked where we would be, we would have had to predict where the environment of the internet and particularly video would be today. This is before YouTube and things like that. We have enough experience online. We're 10 years now. We have been through a lot of different eras of the internet. Like if you look at right now, we have things like Facebook and Twitter, and they're amazing juggernauts, and they're never going to go anywhere, but they are.
Yeah.
It's hard to see that when when it seems like they have an undeniable stranglehold on the internet. But 4 or 5 years ago, that was MySpace,
Yeah.
Friendster, sites like that. Even going all the way back to like Tripod and people's homepages. The personal homepage is like essentially dead at this point. And MySpace knocked that off the internet somehow. So these things happen, and they change. And I think the biggest asset that Rooster Teeth has had over these 10 years is that we stayed adaptive. We've always looked at the environment as it exists. We've always seen like how we could fit into that, how we could have fun in that current environment. So to predict where we're going to be in 10 years is tough because it's hard to say like what's going to rise up out of the internet that we can take advantage of, what we're going to contribute to the internet, but people are going to take away from it. But I just know we'll continue to stay adaptive and we'll have fun doing it, hopefully.
Well, I'm definitely going to be along for a ride.
All right, great.
Burnie, thank you so much, man.
My pleasure. Thank you for covering our work.